Hey everyone, logging is an essential diagnostic tool for .NET applications. Today we'll explore how to add a structured login, how to configure log destinations, and how to query structured data. We need to install Docker Desktop and have an active Azure subscription. Let's get started. This is a .NET 9 API with Visual Studio. So to add a structured login with Serilog, we'll add a NuGet package. So open a command prompt and we'll install this serilog.asnet core package. Initially, we'll send the logs to the console, so we'll install another NuGet package. This is for local development. So look for serilog.since.console NuGet package. Install this second package. And the final destination we'll send logs is to write to a file. So we'll install serilog.since.file. Now go to the program.cs file and add the Serilog configuration. At the top of the program.cs file, we'll type log from Serilog and we'll add a new logger configuration. We'll write to the console and also write to a file. We'll specify the path in the logs folder. We'll create a new log file and finally we'll call the create logger method. And from the builder, we'll specify that we'll use Serilog. Save it. So we'll add some structured data logs. We'll create an endpoint to create an order. So we'll replace this default get endpoint to a post action and create an order. And we'll specify an order model to pass some properties from body. So add a new record called order with 3 simple properties: customer ID, product, and finally a total, which is a decimal property. And we'll inject the iLogger interface, specify that this is iLogger of this program class, and we'll create a new order. So we'll generate a fake ID and then we'll call logger and add an informational message that the order was created with ID based on the ID. So we'll pass the 2 parameters, the order object, which comes from body, and the ID that we created. So we'll add this add symbol to specify Serilog that we want to serialize this order object into the log event, and we'll use this ID, which will be a new property generated by Serilog as a distinct property. Let's save it and now run the application. Go to Postman and create a new order. Go back to the output console. To see the structure log event, we'll format this output response to a JSON output. So close this console, go back, and from the console sink, we'll add a new JSON formatter. In Serilog, the log destinations are called since, the console and the file. Run again the application and create a new order. Go back to the console and look at that we have this JSON object. We'll copy this element and go to a JSON formatter. Let's copy it out and format JSON. Look that we have additional properties from this log event, such as timestamp, label, message template. This is a structure login, and we have the properties with the order object with the ID. The second log destination is a file, so open the Solution Explorer and go to the File Explorer. Look that we have the logs folder and we have this text document with all the logs. You can see that we have the order created with the ID. So we can also see the logs in files. Let's output the lots into a local server. So we'll add a new sink called Seq. Seq is a self-hosted server designed for structured lots, offering a user interface for searching lots and traces. So for that, we'll open a developer PowerShell command prompt and we'll install the required NuGet package, which is serilog.sinks.seq. Execute. We'll run a Seq local server. So it's a prerequisite we need to have Docker desktop running in our computer. Go to the official documentation and we need to pull the image with this command docker pull. I already had pulled the image, so I will skip this command, and then we need to run a local container. So copy this command, go back to Visual Studio, execute, and we have the new container. And from the configuration, we'll write to Seq and we'll specify the server URL, which is HTTP localhost and the default port. That's it. Let's run the application. Navigate to this URL to open the Seq UI. The username by default is admin, and let's add the password. Go back to the documentation and copy the password. Click login. We need to change the password, so we'll add admin as password. Logged in. We need a different password with at least 8 characters, so we'll add a different password. Logged in. And this is the Seq UI, which displays the list of events. Go to Postman and create a new order. Execute, and look that we have a new log event with the information, with the order object, with all the properties, the ID. This is a structured login, and we can easily query data from these log events. For example, if we want to filter by order ID, we can specify in this filter bar where the lots when the ID for the order is this one. Execute, and we have the log event associated. Let's go back to Postman and create a second order. And now we want to filter based on the product property. When the product is found, let's create these log events. So for this, we'll take the order object, and from the product, we'll validate when the product is found. Let's create the data, and we have 2 log events. So far, so good. And finally, when we have failed states, we can use the status code property. When the status code is greater or equal than 400, execute, and we have the failed request. This log event is executed when we run initially the application. Look that we have the information about this log event, and we have a not found status code. Finally, we'll output the logs to Azure Application Insights. AppInsights is an Azure observability tool that collects telemetry data, including traces. So open the command prompt and we'll install 2 NuGet packages. The first one is Microsoft.ApplicationInsights.ASP.NET Core. And the second NuGet package is to integrate with Serilog. So install Serilog.sinks.ApplicationInsights. As a prerequisite, we need to have an active Azure subscription. So I will go to the Azure portal. I already created an Application Insights resource. So when you create the Application Insights resource, we need to copy the connection string, go back to the Serilog configuration, and now we'll write to the Application Insights. We'll specify the connection string. Please don't do this in production, it's just for demo purposes. And second parameter is the telemetry type, which in this case will be traces for test lots. So define this telemetry as traces, and that's it. Run the application. Go to Postman and create a new order. To see the lots in Application Insights, we'll go to the Azure portal, go to the monitoring section and click logs. Close this window, and instead of using the simple mode for application insights, we'll use the custom query language to query traces. So we'll run just simply the traces query, and we have all the traces from Serilog. Look that we have this trace with the message, the custom ID, the product total was created with the respective ID. And look this custom dimensions object, which is a JSON dictionary created by Application Insights when using structured logs. We have the information about the order, we have the ID. Now to query this data, for example, I want to filter based on the ID. Just right click over the property and filter based on this with value. Run the query, and we have the log event associated. We can query data easily. For instance, if we want from this custom dimensions object, when the product is found, hover over the product and filter for phone. Remove the first filter. Execute this command. And we have all the log events when the product for the order is found. We have 4 results. So we can easily query data from Application Insights by applying a structured logging. Here are some tips to consider. Use log levels to indicate the log severity, prevent logging sensitive data with filters, and centralize logging configuration in the app settings.json. In conclusion, structured logging is fundamental for production-ready .NET applications that aim for transparency and observability of data events. If you want to learn more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.